Hi guys, it's Matt here at M-vapes. This is just going to be a little sort of update on the SXK Corolla atomizer. Just going to show you me putting a coil in it, wicking it again, and just a couple of easy tips that has been brought to my attention. So hopefully this will help out some people. Basically, as we know, it's a top coil sort of trailing wick tank atomizer. Like so, and I know that some people were having trouble with the filling. So obviously you've got your airflow holes in the middle here. If I focus, there we go. So these are your two post holes that you trap your wires under, positive and negative. That's your two airflow holes. That's your two wick holes. And then you've got this countersunk fill hole, and then a little hole next to it to let air out. So the idea is you use like a needle tip bottle and fill up through here, and obviously as you put in liquid in, air has to come out. So the idea is that air comes out here. But if you're using, you know, quite a heavy VG or even a normal sort of 50-50 mix, these holes could do with being a little bit bigger. Unless you get a really good seat with your needle tip bottle in here, it tends to not want to go in and flood out, and it's just a bit fiddly. It's not, you know, if this hole was bigger, like on the Nectar, which, you know, it's a very similar design to, then that wouldn't have been a problem. But I mean, I have filled it up through here. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but you tend to find that e-liquid blocks the air sort of coming out here, and it then just sort of goes everywhere. So I'm going to show you a real simple, easy way of doing it. It works for me. It's how I do it anyway, because I don't like things that consume time, because obviously running M-vapes, time is critical. Otherwise I can't get your guys' orders out. I'll spend ages trying to fill a thing up. So anyway, I've pre-made a coil, and I'm just gonna whack this coil in here to start with. So bear with me while I just while I do this. I was wanting to change the coil over and the wick over anyway, because I've been using it for a little while and it's starting to get a little bit, you know, how they do. So I thought, well, while I'm changing it over, I'll take the opportunity just to film it and show you guys the nice easy way of doing things, he says, as he doesn't quite trap the wire under the thing. Let's try that again, shall we? Now, for those of you that have seen reviews and whatnot on the Avocado, which is a very similar style tank, I know that Dean has been having issues with it randomly causing a shorting, you know, causing a dead short, well, not dead short, but tripping the device out, saying it's shorted somewhere. You don't get any such problems with the Corolla tank. It works really well, which is good, because I was in two minds as to, you know, what to get. I was looking at getting a tank like this to stock, and it had been suggested to me to possibly get the Avocado, and I looked into it, and I was going to place an order for a load of Avocados, but then this came up, and the coloured resin tops quite took my fancy. You know, they're quite attractive. You know, well, they're Marmite, aren't they? Some people absolutely love them, like me, and some people hate them. But when you see them in the flesh, you know, you see them in daylight, the colours on them are absolutely stunning. They're sort of pearlescent, marbleized. They're really, really really attractive, I think. So there we go. Let's just give this a couple of heat cycles to make sure there's no hot spots. I mean, if I was a customer and I had a choice between, you know, this, if I was after this type of tank and the avocado and this was an option, I would definitely choose this, going on the problems that the avocado's been chucking out. You know, because it's fine if you've got a regulated device like this, but if you've got a mechanical device and that done that, you'd be in a whole world of trouble. But you don't get any problems like that on this the SXK Corolla, which is nice. Well, it's the way it should be. It's not nice, it's just standard procedure. You shouldn't have to expect something not to short out on you. There we go. That should be coming out at about 0.9 of an ohm, hopefully. 0.89 of an ohm. I think I'm losing my touch. Righty-ho. Okay, so wicking and filling the easy way, the M-vapes way. Before you do anything, use one of the massive holes where the wick would normally go and fill it up. But don't fill it up all the way, only put about half the tank in. I usually fill it to just above the line of this stainless section here, this lower stainless section. I fill it up to about that line there. That way you get a lot of the juice already in there. You've still got room to put the cotton in, and it saves faffing around later. So that's step one of making it easy. We'll just whack our cotton in here. Now I've used a 0.4 Canthal on a 2.5mm bit, I think, and I find that although the hole size for the wick is 3mm, I find that if you use a 2.5mm bit, obviously because the cotton flares out a little bit, it fills that hole. I've never once had any leaking issues with this. I've carried it upside down, I've left it laying on its side, and not had any problems at all. That's what I'm looking for. Scissors. Right, so cutting your wick, I cut it to sort of the length of the bottom of the tank. So if you do that, it's sort of pretty much the length of the bottom of the tank. You can do it where you like really, but I do it at that sort of length so that you know, when I stuff it in there, it goes quite the way down. So that's that. I'm just going to prime this wick up a little bit. Do the undersides. Usual story. Prime your wicks. Da 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 da. I'll prime them a bit more once I'm done. Okay, now I just pull it up in the middle, so I get the end coming up towards the hole, and then just start poking the end in the hole. There we go, get it all in there like so. Do the same the other side. So, and then I'll just pop the screwdriver under and pull it up a little bit. There we go. Just get that in there. Because I pre-primed it, obviously, as it's gone in, it squeezes a little bit in the tank surface there. But it's got, you know, that drip well, so it's not a problem. So there we go. We've got half a tank of juice in there. And we've got our wick in there. You can see that goes in. So now we want to fill it up the rest of the way. And, you know, the way that they want you to do it is to put your needle tip bottle on the fill hole, squeeze away, but you will find that it tends to go everywhere and makes a mess. So just pop your needle bottle down where the wick is and make sure that it's not going into the wick, just to one side. I don't know if you can see. Oh, there we go. Can you see? There's a reflection. Hang on. You should better see my needle bottle there just sticking. You can't really see it on the camera, but it's just sticking into the tank. So when I fill up, it's filling up the tank with juice, but the air in the tank is coming out. It's got both holes to come out, plus any extra around the wick, so you don't get the issue of juice going absolutely everywhere. You're always going to get a bit, but there we go. That is filled pretty much to the max. And as you can see, very little juice on the top there. I mean, there's a bit, but you're always going to get a little bit. But that's why it's got this, you know, 1 mil, 1.5 mil sort of recess there. And actually, because that's happened, I don't need to prime the rest of the wicks. That is, you know, that is good to go. So yeah, rather than using the pre-dedicated fill hole, which is frankly too small, that one there, just, like I say, just pop your juice bottle down the side where the wick is and fill her up. And that way it's got 2 extra air holes to let the air out, rather than just one absolutely tiny one. That's the way I do it, and I can get a full tank of juice in there and not have any problems at all. And there we go. That is going away quite the thing. So just whack the old top cap on, line up your airflow holes. Now I've done a 0.9 ohm coil. I'm going to do mouth to lung inhales. I find that having it on just one airflow is fine for that, and that's set at 15. I might put that at 16 watts actually. No, actually a little bit more. Let's have it at 17 watts. There we go. Let's have a vape. Very nice indeed. Great flavour from this, as you know, as to be expected from this style of atomizer where the coil's at the top. It's cracking. Can't fault it. So hopefully that wicking and refill mechanism, you know, technique that I use helps. And there we go. We'll bring you some more videos of stuff soon. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.